All right, we should be live, provided everything is working properly, which it appears to be. So, cool. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Thank you, Sean and Evan, for joining me again, as always. Or not always, but as usual.
Of course.
So always, the thank you extends to always, but the
Always
English is,
thank you.
yeah. Anyways, hold on. Got this tweet. Nope, don't need to send that again. Got that out there. And then we can pull this up. Don't have any unsent tweets. I need to retweet that from personal account. So I'm excited to talk about, we're doing another discussion stream, which is cool. I'm excited to do this. The last one was very fun. Thank you to people who tuned into that one and people who viewed it after the fact too. I was looking earlier and the views had gone up, so thank you. But yeah, I want to make these a recurring thing because they're fun. Can't lie, they're pretty easy to do and pretty laid back and chill, which is nice to do on a Monday. But then also I like talking about stuff. And so I'm excited about this because Sean and Evan, like I'm happy that y'all are here, as you know, already stated, obviously. But like we've known each other for a long time, obviously. But we don't really I feel like a lot of the time we don't get into like super deep discussion about, or even just like really to talk about specific topics of like nerd shit that much, or like depending on the topic anymore. I feel like we did that a lot like in the group chat whenever we first like became friends and stuff, you know, but like I don't really think that I like know y'all's opinion on this topic, like whether or not you prefer Batman being like kind of by himself and alone, or whether or not you like a big like Bat family around him, or like what you think that does for him and vice versa. Like, so I'm excited to hear what y'all think about that.
Oh yeah.
That said, if either of you would like to share any thoughts on it.
I'll go.
Yeah, please, Sean.
I think it honestly depends on, well, it's the story you're trying to tell, but like that's the crux of like everything. You
Yeah,
know?
right. Yeah,
like, yeah, it does. Yeah. Personally, I definitely think that as a storyteller, I would enjoy telling more stories with him alone, but I enjoy reading and like watching stories with him with the Bat family, I think considerably more. I think that a lot of that goes to just like the reason that the Bat family exists at a certain point in time, like in the chronological life of Batman, is because like he's more experienced and he's been around for a while. You can still do a grizzled Batman on his own, but obviously like you can't do a year one Batman with like an expansive Bat family because it just doesn't work timeline wise.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get a reverse one of an older Batman that's on his own, but you can't get a younger Batman with a Bat family.
The typical thing, a lot of the time whenever you do get the older Batman on his own too, is like it sort of gets this where like he starts alone and then it grows and then it kind of contracts again, like towards the end. Like everyone just goes away from him by then, whenever you get that, or you do decide to do that kind of like story.
Yeah. And so I think it might just be because I enjoy the characters of the Bat family so much, particularly Nightwing, that reading with him on a team is very exciting. But I like also thinking back to some of my favorite DC stories of like Injustice or Young Justice, where you've got him as this sort of leadership figure who is kind of like overseeing a lot of things, and you've got, you know, different teams of Bat family members because they're all, you know, spread out everywhere and kind of doing their own thing. That then you've kind of got this massive expansive story that you can branch off and do multiple different types of smaller stories within, because you've got such a large roster of characters to work with that are all compelling and have deep, rich histories and character traits and things like that. So I would definitely lean more into the Bat family. But I'll start with that, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because you also, hello Usama, welcome to the stream, and sorry that you can't see dislikes anymore. Also, not like anyone's gonna be disliking my video. That would never happen to me. Anyways, but yeah, Sean, it's interesting you brought up how much you like the Bat family members like individually, like as well. And I think that that's my biggest thing. So like I have, if you're watching the stream, you'll see I have my thread that I made over a year ago at this point. Jeez, almost 2 years ago. Well, not like a year and a half. Anyways, where I talked about like Batman alone and like with the Bat Fam and like kind of what I thought about it then. My thoughts are mostly the same. I think it's hard for me to decide, but I think the biggest factor for me is that I like all of the family members more in their individual stories than I ever do whenever they're part of like a team book. Like, I think the team books can be fantastic and definitely very well done, and they can do a lot of things great. I think Tynan's Detective Comics run is a great example of that, specifically with the Bat Fam too. But I also think that there are some areas that it definitely like falters in, partly because of the nature of what that like it being a team book is, but then also just other things. And so to me, like, I mean, the Bat Fam has some of my favorite characters in it. Like Kate Kane is like a top 5 character for me now. Like Cassandra Cain is, you know, definitely up there. If we're going into the future, like Terry McGinnis is also one of my favorite characters. Like, I love a lot of the family members so much. Of course, Nightwing's like they're all fantastic, and so I just think that they all thrive the most whenever you're reading their individual stories, and then that of course like also applies to Bruce. And I find myself that when I think about it, my favorite like Batman stories typically tend to be like whenever he's just on his own and whatever that entails, and like seeing him overcome what he has to like by himself and facing it by himself, not because he's pushing his family away or that like he doesn't need them or they drag him down, because I don't like it whenever that narrative is like used and people kind of like say that, because I don't think that's true at all. I think the opposite is true, but I like the angle of him having to like deal with the problems by himself and overcoming them that way. And then but I mean, like that said, I love when the fucking Bat Family shows up and they all like kick ass, or like the Bat Family is in a story together and like the personalities all bounce off each other so well, and like seeing them all interact is always so great. Like I'll eat that shit up. So like but I don't know, I think the first thing that you said too, Sean, is very accurate to me. Like as a writer, I definitely Osama also said like what you were saying like at the beginning, which I'm getting into, like the solo stories work good early in his career as he's more like rough at an earlier stage, but then I also like as a writer just lean towards writing more solo Batman stories, because I'm like, I just want to write Batman, you know, like if I'm gonna write Batman. But yeah, those are like most of like where my main things are for it. Hello Nani, welcome to the stream. Evan, are you here?
That is me. And I am present.
Do you have thoughts?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I think I have a lot of love for specific Bat Family characters, and then just like the Bat Family on the whole. You know, I think that they have very interesting dynamics with, like, you know, individually with Bruce and then also amongst themselves. But like, you know, your original question, I believe, was do you prefer Batman on his own or with the Bat Family? And like that specifically, I just like, I love Batman centric stories, you know. I feel like a lot of them are just more inclined to deal with like him on a personal level a lot. Like I love like the psychology of Batman and like, you know, stories like Kings of Fear that really tackle that. And even like, you know, they're like, you know, because I think that, you know, there's some like peripheral Bat Family stuff in that, but like, you know, him dealing personally with what he's done to the people that he's brought into his fucking circus of vigilantism. And I don't know, it's just like I love delving into Bruce as a person, and I feel like you get a lot less of that with team stories. I don't know, I just love character driven stuff, and like, you know, like Long Halloween Year One. It's just like, I feel like, that's specifically early Batman stuff, kind of like what Sean was saying. You don't see Bat Family stuff very early on, but it's also a lot of Batman finding himself and like figuring out where his line is and really like navigating why he's doing what he's doing. And
Yeah,
I feel like all of that is so secondary in any given Bat Family story because it's all, it's established. And I feel like at least the stuff that I've been exposed to, Bat Family stuff is more action focused than like character driven. And
Yeah.
that's not to like, I can't just like obviously generally say that across the board because I haven't read everything, but that's just kind of what I've been exposed to. So that's like where my preferences currently lie,
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And I think that one thing too that you were like touching on in the fact that, obviously with the early Batman, he's like figuring out why he's doing what he's doing and like narrowing down everything and kind of, establishing all of that. And something that the Bat Family does do from like that narrative angle too, whenever they come in, is they like definitely, and especially like Dick as like Robin, like very much centers Bruce and like gets him to like kind of figure out and realize a lot. And that dynamic being established and then like going forward, continuing to like grow with Jason, and then like what Jason obviously does to like, I love so much also like what the Bat Family does for Bruce and to Bruce as a character, because like it's so much for him to have that, like to one just establish and like find this new family and then build this family and like have that, and like that's such huge growth for him, and then it just constantly does a lot for him too, like by being there. And so I do like that, and I think that I'm seeing it a lot recently. I liked the way that it was done mostly in recently like Fear State, where Bruce kind of like mentions, because obviously in the other titles, which I'm not reading all of them, but like the other Bat Family titles that are happening, they were like Fear State tie-ins recently, but like in the main title he like acknowledges, he's like, yeah, like my family is out there, like I have to trust that they're doing like what I trust them to do. And like I do definitely love the presence of the like Bat Family and that being like around for him as a character, and the fact that that's a given now, just like currently, I think is pretty cool. People make jokes all the time about Alfie. Also, welcome. I see you in there. Yeah, I do hate the Bat Family. Confirmed. Sure, scoop for the night you can clip that. But yeah, I just like I think it's funny. There's a lot of people who joke about the Bat Family being too large now. What do y'all think about that? Like, what is your like? Okay, so who do you think of whenever you think of the Bat Family?
Okay, Bruce, all the Robins.
Okay, well I'll say that, and then because these might be two. Like, who do you think of when I say like the Bat Family, and then also like the current Bat Family? I don't know if those would be two different things for you, but like,
it would not be for me.
So the three Robins, you said?
No, I would say all of them. So
okay,
like
all of them. Four, yeah. Well,
yeah. Barbara. See, like that's the thing. Is like it depends on what versions like you grew up on and watch, and like who your favorite characters are. Because like there are a lot of people, but like if I think of like the Bat Family, it's really confined to probably, as I said, the Robins, the primary Batgirls, which would be Barb, Steph, and Cass, and then Catwoman, kind of. You can take or leave her as part of the Bat Family. I know you are a supporter of her being in the Bat Family, Alex.
I have thoughts, but
okay. And then it's about it. I mean, Jim, kind of. Alfred, definitely Alfred. Sorry.
yeah,
I know we're talking more like superhero people.
yeah. I mean, I
but,
feel like Alfred
yeah.
is like a given, kind of.
But then outside of that, because like
Duke and No, I thought I had more people than Duke. Maybe just I would add Duke to that, I guess. Oh, Helena or Helena Huntress. Maybe that's it. Maybe it was just them.
Well, yeah, that was going to be my counter, is that, you know, despite them being in and out members of the Bat family, like, they're constantly adding characters to that, you know, world and realm of Batman characters, but I don't think of people like Kate or Helena or Duke or, you know, I'm trying to go back to the thumbnail because I think the thumbnail is really helpful. There's a lot of people in that
The thumbnail has everyone that's been mentioned.
Yeah. And so, you know, like, there are just some people that I don't typically think of in that sense that, like, are probably included, but, you know, I think that you can have a rotating list of people without them constantly being, you know, brought in. I guess the thumbnail's a pretty good example.
Yeah, I think that Alfie said in the chat too, he goes, ideal Batfam should be Bruce, Dick, Damian, a Robin for Bruce, take your pick, old or new, Oracle, and Cass. Any more than that, and the main core group is way too much. You can have others in cities and corners. Yeah, see, it's funny, because I agree with this too. Chad is saying that, like, and you said it also, Sean, that, like, you don't see Kate or Helena as Batfam members, but, like, or like as Batfam, but like obviously they're like members of the family. Kate especially is literally like family to Bruce. But yeah, like I agree, because like they're not that, like, I don't expect to see them in the Batman book regularly ever, or like really, like they are in Gotham, but they're very much like on their doing their own thing. Take Jason, Damian, Tim. See, like I feel like Jason should like not really be around that much, honestly. Jason's so weird for me, because like I don't know, I'm not that big of a Jason fan anymore. I don't think he's okay. I just feel like and especially it didn't fucking help that Luptel was writing him for like a decade or some shit. I don't even know how long that was. But Usama said the ones who've been sidekicks and done a lot of missions are the fam. I mean, yeah. Nani said 1 Batman, 2 Robins. That's enough. Alfred included. Yeah, like I feel like Jason's Phoenix was Robin, but he's just the big. He has a big. See, that's the thing. Like I don't like Jason being the stereotypical like, oh, he's just the outsider, but like I mean, he fucking is. And like I don't.
Yeah.
And I see, the thing is, I don't know what to do about that, because I feel like he has a lot of potential. I personally don't know what to do there, and admittedly probably generally don't really care enough to like think too hard to figure out what that is yet. But like I don't know, he's weird for me. When he first resurfaces, I think is the most interesting he is, but that's okay. And I think that
I'm sorry, I was just laughing at I was just laughing at our chat.
Oh, you're
our
okay.
Our private chat.
I haven't seen anything yet, but fucking yeah.
I apologize. I couldn't hold it.
No, you're good. Yeah, Jason's odd, and there's always conflict with Jason. It's his forever problem. Yeah, I don't know. Jason's weird, but I also I brought someone else for a second that I can't remember, but yeah, it's still weird to think about the fact that Alfred isn't around currently, honestly, which is like interesting. Oh yeah, Catwoman was brought up. Catwoman, so like
Here we go.
I mean, yes, if her and Bruce are together, but like they're not. Fucking DC is clearly never gonna let anyone actually like have that commit and stick, which is why they should just flip the other way and have him be with Talia and call it a day and have them actually stay together. But yeah, no, I mean, like Catwoman, yeah, I feel like definitely like more so than not when she's appearing, but like I feel like she in the sense, yeah, I mean that makes sense. Usama, she's not Batman, she's Bruce's partner. Yeah, that's a good distinction. And like, but I mean like in the sense that like anytime I
She's
see her like
fam.
anytime I see her like she's working with them, you know, I expect now as opposed to not. So that's good. It's weird how Terry. It's weird that I don't
Terry
think.
does not count.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously I know that like Terry doesn't count, but like,
Sorry.
it's weird that Terry doesn't really like work well anymore with what like the current canon has become. You know, like he was just conceived long before a lot of these characters were like, or not long before, but like before, like these characters were established and around as like being there also. And so like that's one of the things that I think about a lot, because I think about Batman Beyond stories, because I would like to write one, multiple. But anyways, like I think it's like I think about how to reconcile like a lot of the characters that are around now with like Terry, like how do you make that fit? And like which ones I would pick and choose to fit and still work. Yeah, I don't know which ones honestly. Sean, did you have thoughts on Catwoman? Or more thoughts?
Not
on Catwoman?
really.
Yeah,
I mean, I was more interested in what you were saying. I think that she's a character that, you know, I think, as they said, best. Like, if she's Bruce's partner, I mean, sure, throw her in. But then I look at things like the Arkham games, like Arkham City, where, like, you're playing as her, and I'm like, like, she kind of part of the team.
It's not really
Yeah.
a team dynamic, though, when you're playing as her. I feel like it's, I don't know, more just like her direct relationship with Bruce. And maybe it's just like a personal viewpoint, and again, like just like the content that I've been exposed to. But I feel like I like that relationship more on its own than when like she's involved more with the family, because again, it just kind of takes away from the, I guess not necessarily intimacy of it, but like the emotional weight, like the emotional stakes, you know?
I think it's just the like same problem that you face in like everything, is that just like the more people that you get together, like the harder it is to like emotionally balance all that. Usama said he prefers Bruce. He likes Terry, but he doesn't like the idea of Bruce becoming old and being like that. Prefers Bruce with the happy ending of retiring after making Gotham better, and Cass becoming Batman next. Yeah, I also am a big fan of Cass becoming Batman after Bruce. I see, it's weird though, because like I don't think about an end for like my Batman, like what I envision of like, I don't know if you would even consider it like canon, or like, you know, like whatever. That's because that's one thing I know, like I've read in interviews, or I think it's in the foreword. I don't remember if it's in the foreword for one of the volumes of Snyder's and Capullo's Batman, but like he is talking about asking Grant Morrison for advice before he like took over on the book. And Snyder said that Morrison was like come up with a like birth and a death for your like Batman, and like, you know, like go from there. That's why he ended up doing 0 year. And then we got Endgame, of course, which was fucking rad. But anyways, like I don't think about like Bruce retiring, because like I don't really like I like Bruce retiring in like the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that works really well. And
yeah,
like I think that in, you know, Batman Beyond, whenever you see him being older and like not being Batman there, like I think it works for that story too. But like Batman right now, like in the Batman comic that's like coming out, you know, month to month or like every 2 weeks, like it's hard for me to think about that Batman like just being like, okay, I'm like gonna
I've done
stop.
both.
Yeah, like I it's so it also just goes back to the fact that like probably my favorite Batman quote is from Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader, and he's like, I fight until I drop, and like one day I will drop, but until then I fight. Like, yeah, like that. And so it's very like, but then I'm also like, yeah, Bruce, like realize that you did enough good, and like you can rest for a little bit, and then like let Cass take over. But
Let me ask you this then.
Okay.
So, you mentioned the Dark Knight trilogy, and just like generally, like we're talking about the Bat family. There have been rumblings that one of Matt Reeves' plans for his Batman series, I'm not going to call it a trilogy, because maybe we'll get more than 3.
That'd be sick.
Maybe we won't even get 3. Who knows? I don't know. Do
I
you
would
know
love
if
to see,
has he specifically said trilogy?
He said that he, I believe, had a plan for at least 3. I think was one of the earliest quotes that he said he had like an outline or an idea for like.
Gotcha.
I believe.
So then, like,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
either way, we'll just say a series of Matt Reeves Batman movies. And like, if you count the new TV shows and stuff, it's gonna be a series of content anyway.
I mean, it's a universe, yeah.
Yeah, it's a universe. There you go. Matt Reeves universe.
MRU.
Yes.
You've heard of
We've
the
heard
MRI?
We've heard rumblings that like he might be interested in expanding on, you know, adding a Robin at some point or building out the Bat family. Like, who then would you want to see kind of fleshed out? I know like we haven't seen the movie yet, so it's kind of hard to gauge, but like in terms of cinematic Batman, you know, what type of Bat family expansion would you be interested in? And then going back kind of to your other point too, like, would you be interested in seeing sort of an end game for Pattinson's Batman at some point, whether that be like a la The Dark Knight Rises or like Batman Falls and he has a successor, or you know he just kind of keeps doing Batman shit by the end? You know, like where do you kind of feel about all that?
I have a perfect answer to this. So one, yeah, I think we definitely are getting like sidekicks and like tertiary allies and, you know, Batman members and stuff in this universe. That's definitely like gonna happen. I think that, so we mentioned, we were talking earlier about how, you know, really early on in his career, a lot of the family doesn't make sense to like be around. Someone I do think would make a lot of sense would be Kate Kane, and we should definitely get Batwoman, and I think that she would fit very well in Matt Reeves' Batman universe. Sick. So can we please let that happen? Oh, dude, of course this is my. But tell me it doesn't work, bro. Like,
I don't know enough about that character. I'd say sure. I mean, everything can work.
It would be so good. Please, that Evan Rachel Wood as Kate Kane, and this I would just maybe not her, maybe someone else, but she's just my go-to default for that. But I think that Batwoman would work well. Besides that, I don't know who else I would like to see. I mean, you know, I feel like Robin obviously is a given. We'll start there. Usama said that he doesn't think that we'll get Batgirl, considering we're getting her in the DCEU, like the main universe. But Steph or Cass would be better. Yeah, I would like. We'll probably end up getting Steph, knowing how DC is, considering we saw Cass in Birds of Prey, and even though we're doing the multiverse, DC is dumb.
Wouldn't it be so nice to get? I would love to get another Bat like Barbara, especially with Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon.
I mean, yeah, but like
so good.
We're getting Barbara already. I would love Cass, honestly, if like aside from Kate. So Kate's my number 1. Robin's a given. Kate's my number 1 pick. I would like Cass. Because if you do Cass, then you can also have Shiva be in these movies, bro. You kidding me? That would be fucking sick.
Yeah, Shiva fans need some love after apparently what they're doing to her in Young Justice.
Yeah, and
apparently not good things.
There's some stuff going on in Young Justice apparently.
Makes me sad. Anyway,
yeah, sorry. I need to get caught up. I didn't even finish season 3. But yeah, I think beyond that, I don't know. Do you see? I haven't answered the second. I'll answer the second part of your question. So you were talking about an end game for Pattinson. a minute ago, whenever we were talking about endings, Usama said his two perfect endings are Bruce retiring after being too old to go on, but being close with the family and stuff, or having him sacrifice himself for someone or something, but it not being like a world-ending threat. And yeah, big agree. And I very much like that. I would like for Pattinson to, like, at this point have someone that's like pretty like at least a person or whatever that like is still gonna be like looking out for Gotham, you know, even if it's not directly established that like they're the successor to Batman. And then I'd like for him to just like die saving like a random individual, just like a good act, you know, like the whole like is this a good death thing that like is in The Dark Knight Returns. It's the opening of that, and then also is a pretty recurring theme in King's Batman as well. I would like to see that as like his
That
ending.
would be awesome.
I would fucking break down, bro. I would lose my shit. But that would be cool. What I was going to ask though, do either of you want to see Jason for Pattinson's Batman?
Not really.
Well,
so does that mean? So do you think that we get the? Because do you want to see Tim, and do you think that we have to see Jason to see Tim?
I'll let Evan take this first if he wants.
I just feel like, I don't know, it seems like we are going to be getting a very emotionally tormented Batman with Robert Pattinson, and I don't know, not that it would be retreading old ground, and I'm sure Matt Reeves could find a good way to, like, you know, bring Jason Todd into the fold. I just feel like he's a very emotionally broken character, and if we're going to be focusing on that for, you know, however long we're focusing on Bruce for, not like the duration of it, but, you know, seeing that growth in him, I don't know, I feel like I would rather see somebody like Tim who follows in his footsteps, and like we get you know, a more I don't know, I feel like I'm now being a little hypocritical because I feel like I would like to see more detective stuff from Tim explored, but yeah, I don't know, I guess I just don't want to see Jason.
Bro, yeah, it just comes back to that, like, Sean, what were you gonna say? And then
Well, it's hard because I think that Pattinson's Batman, from what we've seen so far, would be a perfect, or like Red Hood would be a perfect foil for this style of Batman. But I don't think you have time to like go through all of that.
that was gonna be, I think, probably my biggest thing is that like that's so much to do.
Yeah, and like to add on to that, like I'm a firm believer that in terms of Bat family, I think we just get Dick.
In this, you don't think we're getting anyone else?
Well, maybe some like outside characters, but in terms of like his typical sidekicks, I think you just get Dick, because I think looking at Batman in film, generally, you've had Dick Grayson in the 60s. You obviously had him in like the 80s and 90s. And neither one of those was done. I mean, Chris O'Donnell did a great job, but like just generally, it wasn't done super well.
Yeah.
And like 60s Batman is fantastic in its own right. But anyway, and then like Snyder tried to do his thing with Robin, and like that never really, and like it was great fuel and energy for Ben Affleck's Batman, and like that works super well, but like that was never meant to be a Batman that we saw working with a Robin, like actively in the movies. That's just like character motivation. So I think that Reeves, while he wants to expand that universe, probably wants to craft Robin and bringing Dick Grayson back to the screen in like a really masterful way. And that's going to take time and development, especially if he's like some sort of end tease for the first film or doesn't show up until the second film.
Yeah, because like I want to see him become Nightwing, right?
That would be awesome. But I I don't even know if you get that.
I think you get that like way later, like near the end of all of, you know. But like,
well, it depends. It goes back to like what is the end of all of it. If it's a like I'm thinking in a traditional trilogy sense, where like I'm not sure you have time to do all of that.
and you have shows too, maybe, and like.
I mean, sure.
Depending
It really depends on like what they want to do with the character, and like we know that they want to give Reeves the MRU, you know.
Yeah.
But I also, you know, there's only a certain amount. I don't know. It's hard to say that because like the MCU is so far expansive, but like that's not following one character. I guess my point is like I would, if we're gonna get a Bat Family in Reeves, like we'll just say trilogy for now, and you can add in the series, kind of to fill in the blanks. I'd say it's mostly about Batman, Catwoman, getting a Robin, and then I would really like to see like some tertiary characters like Azrael, or you know more like adult Batman related characters that kind of complement Bruce really well. But like it seems hard to do because you'd have to spend the whole second movie, because you know we're not getting him like Robin in like a prominent role in the first movie, so you have to spend the whole second movie building that character to the point where like your end battle is like, oh, it's Batman and Robin, and then you could take a leap with the third film and have them already have a falling out, and you can take in a second Robin, whether that be Jason or Tim, or you can go the Batgirl route and bring in, you know, Steph or Cass. But then by the end of that, like, you know, there's only so much you can do in that department. Not to mention, we don't know what Reeves is planning. We've heard lots of rumors, particularly now with like the Joker rumors that were going around a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because originally we thought he was going to do Court of Owls, which like he still might do. But now it looks like he's building a Joker, so who knows? But like if you're going to do Court of Owls, you could do a big Bat Family, but like that's a heavy Bruce story. So it would make sense to have just kind of like one Robin or one sidekick or like one or two members of the Bat Family kind of there watching this go down with Bruce, because Court of Owls is very much a like Bruce Wayne story. So I don't know. I mean, I would always be down to see it, but like just from a storytelling standpoint and like a practical what you can do in a certain amount of time with a certain amount of movies and series.
Yeah, it just all depends on how like long things go.
Yeah.
And like what, which is crazy to fucking think about. 'Cause honestly,
if we were like, oh, we know he's getting a trilogy, then you can better figure this out. But if you're like, oh, it's gonna be 6 movies, you're like, oh shit, all right, well, now you can get everybody in there if you wanted to.
Yeah, and it's like how well, like, and unfortunately, since these aren't, you know, comics, you have to think about like age. And like how long are like actors committing to these roles?
That was my big thing too when I was thinking about it.
Like how, you know, you can't. I wouldn't want to play Batman for 15 years. That's a
yes,
lie.
you would.
I definitely would. That's a fucking immediately. That's a fucking lie. Yeah, no, but like, yeah, that's hard. Usama was saying that he really wants to see Dick and then eventually Damian, because he wants to see Damian and Talia and Ross done in a comic accurate way, and Big agreed there. But
I don't think that'll happen in this trilogy, but that would be cool.
I don't think so either, because like it goes back to the time thing. Like, because I was thinking about that while you were like talking about the Robins too, and like, do you think we'll see like? Because I saw that comment when he mentioned like Damian, and like, how the fuck do you pull off Damian? Like, Damian.
There's so much that needs to go into that.
Damian's such a comic thing, like.
Well, I think you'd have to, if you were to do Damian in this movie, you would have to do.
Well, see, because that's it, like I would want Damian, because like Damian shows up, you have to do like Damian doesn't show up to me until the third movie at the earliest.
Right. No, I would agree. But then what I would say is, you would have to like. You do it through flashbacks, probably, but you'd have to do like, oh, Bruce was trained by Ross, or how do you say it, Ross?
Yeah, I can't say it. I've heard it. But
okay, you had it at one point. That's why I
mispronounced it. Still,
Bruce was
it's
trained
like
by Ross from Friends.
I think it's Ross.
Nah, it's like it's right. It's I can't do it. You have to roll.
Oh, is it Raish?
You have to like
Isn't
roll
that
part of
Raish?
it, and then it's like
Anyway, I don't want to fuck this up. It's fine. You know who I'm talking about.
the demon's head.
The demon's head. So you like you'd have to set it up in a flashback. Probably wouldn't have. You could drop like a line about it in this movie, but like you would have to have him and Talia have been a thing before the first movie.
Yeah.
So that by the time you get to the third movie, it's like, oh, when I was training, I fell in love with the daughter of the demon's head. We accidentally conceived a baby that I didn't know about. And then by the third movie, you've got a veteran Batman who,
When I was a
like,
kid.
all of a sudden this kid shows up on your doorstep, and then you get flashbacks of, like, training and all that stuff. But again, it's like, I don't know, and you might disagree with me here, but, like, I sort of believe, maybe not so much with Joker, but if you're gonna do a trilogy and you're building to something, you can really only do Joker. Not only, but like you can't do more than like Joker, Court of Owls, or Ra's al Ghul. Like I think that it would be like you have to, if those are your three options, you have to pick one of them.
See, I don't agree with Joker being one that you like. If you're doing,
Well,
Joker,
I think
you
Joker's
have
the
to
loose
only-
example.
You like have to only do Joker, like, because I think especially like, God, fuck, Joker's so hard too, because like, I
don't really want Joker in this trilogy, but that's a
Dude,
whole other
fucking
conversation
same, but
that I don't want
also-
to get into.
but,
That's
no,
not a
we'll-
conversation for this stream.
No, we can get into it. It's fine. But like, I see that because that's the thing. Because I don't want Joker in these, but also, do you know how fucking pissed I would be if we didn't see Joker after this was all done? Like
Oh,
against
I wouldn't be.
Pattinson's Batman.
I'd be fine with that.
I would be though. I'd be like, oh, because what if, like,
Yeah, I just like he has such a good rogues gallery. We've gotten a lot of good Jokers. It's okay.
I mean, yeah, no, that's why I like definitely like lean heavily on like I fucking would like the focus to be on the other villains. That said, the rumored apparent Joker casting would fucking slap.
I mean, yeah, Barry would be
Incredible.
nuts. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like I very much see, and we also like we got not a comic accurate version, but like a version, you know, of the Demon's Head in the League with the Dark Knight trilogy, whereas Court of Owls, you know, obviously like I want to see them, you know, I think as much as anyone does, like that would be incredible. And I think too that the Bat family like lends themselves to being in that story, but then as you were saying too, that's also very much a Bruce story. But then, oh god, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It just, as we were saying, goes back to like the time thing, because I don't know how. Oh, 100% agree, Usama, that Joker should have died in Joker War, but that's okay. It is what it is. Fucking comics. Yeah,
Fucking comics.
I do agree though that we'll probably only get one Robin.
And I think it'll be Dick.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, I mean, doesn't have to be.
I will want to say though, because I asked this and I had an answer about whether or not you have to do Jason to get Tim, and like no.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
We have President already. Like the animated series did it. They just completely skipped over Jason.
But then he came back.
Well, I mean, yeah, they retroactively.
Now there's a Jason.
Yeah, they've retroactively like fucking what 20 years later added. Yeah, but like, see the thing for me though is that I think that my biggest thing, because I haven't read that much Tim. Like of the amount of Tim comics that there are, because he has the longest running Robin book ever. Yep. I've read none of it. Well, I've read the issues that were like tie-ins for like Nightfall or No Man's Land because I've read those events in their entirety.
Nice.
But the amount of Tim that I've read, my biggest draw to him is the fact that what he did is he noticed that Batman not having a Robin was not okay, and that he needed a Robin, and that the absence of that was like severely fucking Batman up. And he was like, hey, like someone needs to do this. I'll do this, and like deduced who Bruce was, obviously, and like who Batman is, and like stepped into that role and like sought out being Robin. And I feel like it's kind of difficult to like skip over Jason and still get that, because it's like,
unless you go the route that like, I mean, there's a million storytelling ways to do that.
Yeah, no, because you can have Dick just leave, and then that like the falling out between Dick and Bruce can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a million things. I mean, there's a million ways to do that. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Snyder killing Dick Grayson.
I love that.
But I think it's incredibly interesting.
And because like I think that what that does, I think it makes a lot of sense for Ben's Batman, because like him only having that Robin, like he had the person that he was helping, and then that's how it turned out, and like it makes so much sense that would shut him off from everything else, and like how that would impact him. But it just goes back to like what you were saying earlier, and the fact that that was never meant to be a Batman that we see operating with the Robin. Like it just is that there was that. Yeah. It sucks because like I want to see like I'd like to see the whole Bat family in live action, like all of them doing stuff. But yeah, I don't think that you get that with Pattinson's Batman. I don't want that with Pattinson's Batman, really. I mean, if I like think about it, it's just hard to like imagine that. Maybe eventually, depending. It's the time thing again. I fucking hate time. But yeah, I don't know. But to the original question though, I do definitely like my favorite Batman stories are very much him like on his own, and not with the family. Even though I always love seeing them like show up and be around. But yeah, do you think how expansive do you think that they're gonna let the Bat family get in like the DCEU proper? Dude, what the fuck is going on in the DCEU proper? This is a different.
Yeah, exactly. That was kind of my initial response. I was like, I
do a different stream about that at some point. But like, what the fuck is like? I know that used to be like a joking thing that was thrown around, and we used to like adamantly be like, no, it's gonna be fine. Like what? But like seriously, what the fuck is going on over?
Yeah, now I'm like, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know. I think that you get Batgirl now.
I mean, yes.
Well, like obviously we're getting Batgirl. Sorry. But then, I don't know. I don't really have anybody else outside of that. I mean, like we're not getting Dick Grayson anytime soon. I don't think we're getting Jason Todd anytime soon. I don't think we're getting, like, I just like it. I don't know. Like it doesn't feel like they're doing that.
Yeah.
Anytime soon. Like it seems like yeah, I don't know.
You've taken out the like.
You frustrated me.
It's because you've taken out the like middle part. You know, like unless you somehow were to get like.
I mean, I'd love for them to bring back Dick. Like, well, you can't because you can't bring back Dick Grayson, I guess. But like.
Well, I mean, you could. Well, it was never like on screen that he's the one who died. So,
yeah,
like,
but I definitely don't want like a Dick Grayson version of Red Hood.
Well, yeah, you just don't, like you just make it to where like Dick just wasn't around and Jason's the one who died, and then you just have Dick be.
Oh,
and then
so you're saying that like because they never actually confirmed.
Yeah.
Like on screen, like that was just like Snyder's thing.
Yeah.
I see your point. Okay.
So like you could just say like, oh yeah, Dick just wasn't around. Jason's the one who died. Here's Nightwing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't think we'll get that though.
No, I mean I would have loved to have seen Chris McKay's. You know.
That's so funny, bro. Throwback to the Twitter days.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Apparently, J.K. Simmons like let slip that Batfleck's gonna be in Batgirl.
That's nice.
That's
I'll believe it
exciting.
when I see it.
That would be pretty hype.
Yeah, not that I don't believe. What's his face? J.K. Simmons. I love that man, but you know.
Yeah, I don't really think that we see more. Give me a fucking to the HBO shows. Give me all the MRU HBO shows and Also, give me all of the just other HBO shows for DC. Give me a Batman Beyond show, fucking please. I've been begging for it for years. Leia Whannell should be the fucking showrunner, direct the pilot maybe. He's liked my tweets about it before, where I pitched that. So I'm pretty sure he's interested, HBO, because I know that some of your representatives are watching this stream. Fucking shoot him a DM.
Get at him.
Give me an associate producer credit. Also, Sean.
I'm on it. Whatever you need.
Yeah, no. Fucking Batman Beyond show, please, though. That would be very nice. I feel like I had like another question that I was gonna ask you guys. Batman and Superman limited show, that would fucking rule. A Batman and Superman limited show with Pattinson's Bat, because no, I mean
no. Give me Cavill and Affleck.
I mean, yeah, that would rule. See, here's the thing, because like at this point, I was gonna be like, I would like to see a different like Batman and Superman in like a limited show. Like I would like it to be like its own like thing.
Tom Welling said that he would like to play Superman opposite Pattinson.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be
so fucking sick.
That would be wild, bro.
That would be a weird combo.
That would be so good, dude.
I'm here for it.
Bro, keep the beard, give him that black suit. The like, oh, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would fucking rule.
That'd be really interesting.
Bro, the fact that WB won't let give Cavill another fucking Superman anything is absolutely mind-blowing. I don't understand.
I just like I don't know what to tell them at this point. I just can't. I can't deal.
I don't
think about it.
I don't understand how you get Henry Cavill and Christopher McQuarrie pitching you a fucking Superman movie. how you fucking get them pitching a Superman movie at the height of Fallout's like popularity, like after that was coming out, and then being like, nah. Like, huh? Discovery merger next year? That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm tired about hearing about Discovery merger.
It's okay, Sean.
We'll see. We'll see what
okay.
happens. I just like.
What do you not think?
I don't know. I'm stressed enough about Star Wars.
You just mean about like people being like, oh, after this happens, like stuff's gonna happen.
Yeah. Just like, I'm just like.
I do think, yeah, it's crazy. I think that our biggest shot at seeing Cavill again is Black Adam's success. Because The Rock very much wants that to happen, and he's The Rock.
Yeah.
So, that would be cool. Yeah, we started getting on a lot of tangents, but I think that we covered
Don't
most,
we always?
I mean, yeah, that's the fun, though. Covered most of, like,
Exactly.
my thoughts on the main thing, and I think yours as well, friends.
Well, if anyone has any, any thoughts or wants,
Oh, yeah, does anyone
Batman
in
and the
chat
Bat family suck.
does anyone in chat have final questions? So I was going to say, we're about to wrap it up because we're nearing an hour, which is pretty good for the discussion, I think. But
that's it? Okay.
Do you want to keep going, Sean?
No, I don't know. Sorry.
I
was like, that was so fast.
I mean, we can keep talking about other stuff. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not the ideas man.
You're not the
I'm
ideas
just commentary.
man?
I'm just commentary. No, it's fine. This was very fun.
I saw someone.
If anyone have any questions, that'd be cool.
I saw someone mention the other day, like, what they're gonna do with Harley Quinn is gonna be interesting now. That was Chris, wasn't it?
It was Chris.
Yeah, it was Chris. Yeah, he says.
Well, after this whole Birds of Prey fiasco.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, how many films do you think she has left in her contract, and like her most recent contract? Not that they have.
Great question.
Not that she would have. Like, they don't have to make them, but like.
Right.
Yeah, the toned down Birds of Prey shit, that was insane. So much comments on it. Yeah, that fucking 0 out of 10. But I don't know. That'll be interesting too. I think that it's crazy that we don't have a. Oh, I don't think either of you watched it. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it now. Kate, right? The movie with
Oh, right.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes.
That like
Basically,
why do we
Huntress the movie.
Yeah, dude. Why is she not in an HBO Max series as Huntress?
I think they said she's gonna be in Black Canary.
Fucking as she should be, because yeah, dude. Literally, like that movie is okay. You, as you just said, it's Huntress the movie, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. That
Yeah.
was,
No, I would love to see. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know. Who's your
Yeah, I don't
favorite-
know. It's just like DCU's a mess. Bat Family's
Yeah.
cool.
I have
Life is
no
good, I
idea.
guess.
Dude, like, because I can't even fathom a guess at this point about like anything that they're doing, really. I mean, they're doing all the sequels and like just more like individual stuff, which is good. Something that I've like very much been like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't know, it just feels weird.
Bro, I just like it hurts.
It's
It's
just because
fine.
it's just because I think the reason that it feels so weird is because we now have how many fucking projects that have come from this thing that like was not meant to be that.
It's also just like, you know, it's like, what are you doing? Like, I think part of it too is like we haven't got anything in a while. 'Cause what was the last like the Suicide Squad? But that felt very disconnected anyway.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you're dealing with. Really, you're waiting for the Flash, I guess, to kind of figure out what's going on with the DCEU. Because like Black Adam will be good, Shazam 2 will be good, Aquaman 2 will be good. You know, like I'm not worried about those movies, but like in terms of, I think it's just about the characters that we care about. Like I enjoy, you know, all of these characters for sure. Like Shazam's really great. I am a little indifferent on Aquaman, but like I'd love to give it another shot. And just like, you know, we're interested in Batman, we're interested in Superman, we're interested somewhat in the Flash, I guess. And like,
You
so it's
said
like, all right,
Sheriff
like,
Flash,
what are
can
you?
tag along?
Yeah, well, some people are indifferent to Ezra's Flash, so.
This is true.
Um.
Indifferent is
So anyway, yeah. So I just like, you know, we're waiting to kind of see what's happening. And I, you know.
Oh my god, yeah, Osama just mentioned all the fans being so divided, and that fucking tweet earlier, it's the meme format going around of the, like, movies, you know, like, the one that whatever. It's all the DCEU movies, and they're all the one that divided the fandom.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Because
That's fantastic.
very accurate. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Thank God we're getting the MRU, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the MRU?
So okay.
That's the other thing too, is like I'm so excited for the Batman that I'm like not even really thinking about the DCU anymore.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, honestly.
Which is a
Nothing
problem, but
It's not a problem, bro. Nothing else matters.
well, you know what I mean.
But it's funny because I keep on reacting to like, not necessarily on camera, but like internally to your face, Sean, whenever you like react to stuff. But stream cannot see that. Yeah, back to the MRU. Do you want to see like fucking straight up superpowers in that? Like, would
That's
like,
a great question.
like how would you feel about seeing Superman like there? I know we were just talking about obviously.
Well, that's like a weird
think that would
example
be
of a
cool.
superhero or superpowers. Because my mind immediately went to like villains.
Well, I mean that both then, like, because like I know we were talking about Welling
damn
as
it.
Superman and like.
I don't know. Now you got me interested. I don't really want to see like I don't know if I want like a Justice League.
Yeah, I don't want to see a league.
I would like to see a World's Finest though, because I think that
Yeah,
and that interacting with Superman would be cool.
I think that
See,
you
I
could,
don't.
I think you could do a World's Finest really well because I think that you could get Pattinson doing that. Like, obviously he's fucking pissed and just angry and not okay right now, and like we're getting get that transition like out of that and him figuring out what he's doing, have him like kind of like becoming more of normal Batman, and then I think that early on when he's got like Dick as Robin, and it's early into their relationship, like I think that introducing Superman, who's also like I feel like you could go either way with Superman in that regard, but I feel like that like early dynamic between like a young like Batman, Superman, and Robin is very interesting, and like I feel like that would be cool to see in like for his movies if you're gonna like do
Hell
that.
yeah.
But I think that you can do that very well. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about powers generally though. Like, I think yeah, because like I would like to see, cause like if we're gonna get like Poison Ivy or anything, like she's got fucking powers. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of like what villains we would get in that world that, you know, would have powers, like maybe Mr. Freeze, but even then you can like chalk that up to technology. Like that's pretty much a technology user anyway.
yeah, and then, I mean, Man-Bat is just crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like science, but I'm trying to think of like who, like what Batman villains that like are just like pure superpowers.
Yeah,
Like Poison Ivy comes to mind.
yeah,
Bane, I guess, but Bane can also be scientific.
yeah. Yeah, Usama said he wants powers because he doesn't want Nolan again, which facts.
I mean, I agree. Like, I don't want Nolan again, but I definitely don't want like, I guess DCEU either, where it's like, you got like a full, like something in the middle. I guess would be nice.
Yeah, Usama was like, I like realistic Batman, but I want Mr. Freeze, Ivy, Lazarus Pit, like real chemical infected Joker, and like yeah,
I'm cool with that.
I agree with that. I think you can. There's that line there, and I think that you like if you do that line well, it's enough where like it doesn't matter. Like, you just don't think about it that much, and you're just like, oh, well, it just fits. Like this is just how things are.
Bear, stop looking at that pillow.
And then it works like that. Shout out Bear.
Shout out Bear.
With that, boyos, I do think I'm gonna dip.
No worries, bro.
Word.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for having me, Alex. I appreciate coming to talk about Batman stuff.
Always, man. Thank you for joining.
Absolutely. I'll catch you guys later.
Talk to you
Later.
soon, Evan.
Late.
Yeah, I don't know though. Like, I think powers definitely. Hints at the other Justice League members maybe interacting with Superman. I think could be cool.
I just don't need a Superman. Maybe it's just because I feel like still really shafted about what happened to Cavill.
Yeah,
But
I mean, same.
I mean, maybe if they did like Mike. Well, I know it's not gonna be Michael B. Jordan as Superman, but like whatever project he's developing, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like, you know, I really want that Superman or a Superman really. There's just like you're building a really grounded criminal. Like, you know what? Here's a perfect example. I want it to feel like Daredevil. Where like you've got like, superheroes and like super villains, and like things are kind of like, I think Hawkeye is a new great example of that. I mean, Hawkeye's a little more campy because it's MCU, but like you've got a really grounded universe that like has these supernatural things in it, and like, you know, you can build up to, I guess,
Yeah,
more superpowered things.
I'd agree with that. And I think it fucking also goes back to like, just like I was saying, where if you introduce it well enough and you just like do it well enough, then like people don't question it, and it's just the way that things are in it, and it works.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the way to go about it. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that whenever we get going back to the Joker thing, I fucking Nani said this is what happens when there's no real plan from the start. Talking about the DCEU stuff.
True.
I mean, there was
a plan,
but
literally my thought.
yeah, that shit is ridiculous, dude. I can't believe we got to see that implode in real time.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Only in our lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that great? Good for us.
That's insane to think about. And like, Twitter then through everything before BBS came out. Oh, those were the days.
Those were the days. Those were good times for like Twitter.
Yeah.
You know.
Man. Bro, that was like 6-7 years ago. Ridiculous. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for the Reeve stuff more than anything now. Like,
Yeah. Aren't we all?
there's just so much you can do.
I don't know how anybody's not excited for that.
Yeah, honestly. Like, I see people every now and then that like aren't my timeline, and I'm just like, sorry. That sucks, honestly. Cause yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm trying to think. I was gonna ask if you like wanted to see a Batman Beyond show, but I know you're gonna be like, I mean, yeah, that would be cool. I don't think
Yeah, I mean that's essentially how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't think that you're clamoring for one. Who? Okay, so besides Dick Grayson, who's your favorite Batman member?
Dick Grayson. I don't know. I mean, I don't really enjoy a lot of them like outside of that. I mean, like I don't not enjoy them, you know.
Yeah.
But I definitely like, you know, I don't know. I enjoy them all in their own right. I think they all have really interesting stories.
Is Homicide Cass?
I would probably say Jason.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I enjoy the Robins like in the order that they came.
Yeah, I don't fucking like Damian that much.
Yeah.
I like Damian more for what he does to Bruce as a character and like what he means for Bruce as a character than I do Damian. But that's also because Damian's not written well a lot of the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cass used to be my favorite Bat Family member. Well, she was for a while. Originally, of course, it was Dick Grayson. That's huge. For a while, I had thought that hello, Gogo. For a while, I thought that, or not thought, but like I liked Nightwing more than Batman at some points whenever I was younger.
You're cool. That was cool. That's cool of you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was
It's a good era for you.
my Nightwing era.
Yeah, that's
7-year-old
arguably your
Alex.
best. Yeah, that's arguably your best era.
But like, yeah. Then after that, more recently, it was definitely Cass for a while. But now it's 100% Kate, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, you love Kate
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
so much.
Everyone read Batwoman comics, all of them. There's a Batwoman omnibus.
He said all of them.
Yeah, dude, there's not that many. I mean, like, it's not a small amount of comics. But, oh, yeah, Osama. I am indeed a Batman hater. I'll look into the camera while I say this. Worst character ever created. So, don't know why you would ever think that I like him. Batman's the worst. It's a perfect video clip if anyone feels like doing that. But...
Nice.
Yeah, there's not that many Batwoman comics, honestly. I read them all in like fucking a couple weeks. Because there's like the 12 or so issues of Detective Comics. Well, I mean, her first appearance was in the 52 weekly series, but you don't really need to read all 52 issues of that.
No.
I have, but I wanted to read that series on its own anyways. Like there's the Detective Comics stuff that's like 12 issues or something, and then there's the like New 52 run, and then there's also the Rebirth stuff, and then she appears in Tynan's Detective Comics and some other issues now and then. I haven't finished reading all of the Bombshell stuff yet, so I haven't read all of her else. Like I haven't finished that, but there's not.
The Bombshells are very popular. I really don't
good
really know that much about them.
It's a good series. I've read like 30 or 40 issues, I think, of it. It's very solid. Yeah, no, read Batwoman comics. There's an omnibus that has the Detective Comics stuff and the New 52 run. That's like, I think cover price for it, I want to say is like $100, but you can find it on Amazon for like 70 or like $60. Or if you go to instocktrades.com, it'll be like 42% off. Read Batwoman comics. They fucking rule. Kate's amazing. This has been sponsored by Batwoman. But yeah, no, I like, because I read all that over like a few weeks last year. It's during like the height of quarantine. And she immediately jumped up to like my favorite on that. And I think it's also too because I think that she's very underrated. Like she's underrated and underutilized. Like she definitely should be a bigger character than she is and is treated like.
Yeah.
The comics, which is annoying. It's in like it's so annoying what's happened to like the show too, because like I have a Scott Snyder. I have the Gaga said he needs the Scott Snyder Batman omnibus. I have volume 1 behind me on the floor. I'm not gonna go get it. Well, it's not on the floor. It's on my bookshelf, but it's on the bottom row. But yeah, the fucking Batwoman show, like the clusterfuck that turned into. It's just annoying, to say the least. Give Batwoman an HBO show instead. It could be your own thing.
Yeah, no, it's hard because, going back to like characters that I really enjoy, because obviously you love Kate, but like,
yeah,
anyone who knows me knows that like I'm from more of a Star Wars person anyway, but like my whole background in like DC stuff is like what I just like grew up with and enjoyed. So like it's a lot of like Nightwing and Young Justice and like Teen Titans, and so like the Bat family for me is really like what my exposure was to them through that, and then I guess like the Arkham games a little bit.
That makes sense.
But like the era that like we're close enough in age where I could say the era that we grew up in like was primarily just Dick Grayson.
A lot
like
of
Dick Grayson was in the spotlight, like Batman the Animated Series for most of it. I know that Tim comes in later, but then like Teen Titans, Young Justice, like the Batman also had Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
and so like it was
crazy.
Dick Grayson era then. So
yeah,
that's where a lot of that love comes from. I think if you grew up in the 90s, it was a lot of Tim, because if you read comics, like Tim was killing it.
Yeah, Tim was huge. It's so wild. Tim fans are very passionate about Tim because of that. I'll say this here, like Steve was one of my like mutuals. He like does these pieces on his Patreon where he's been going through Tynan's like Batman run, or not Batman run, the Detective Comics run, and talking about Tim, because like Tynan is a very big Tim Drake like fan. And
actually have a pretty big Tim book thing. I don't know what it is. It's like a collection.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that, and like you sent pictures one time. But the fact that like Tim Drake actually like invented the concept of the Bat Fam, like it wasn't really a thing until he came around.
Yeah.
Which I had never really thought about before, but is very crazy and very true. When you think about it. So like that's insane. What do you think about Bald Tim in the Arkham games?
It's just kind of weird for any of those characters to like, I don't know. It's all character design choice, and I get like wanting to do something different.
It's just a meme on Twitter, so
it's just funny. Yeah, no. I mean like it's just meh.
Yeah. Well, okay. What do you think about him and Barbara being married at the end of that?
Again, we like to get creative, don't we?
Yeah,
it's like imagine like trying to set up like Dick and Cass. Like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, no. Like I appreciate, as you were just saying, like the effort to do something different, but I'm not a fan of that. And Dick Grayson's right there too. Like
yeah, like isn't it established that like Dick and Barbara had something?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it just doesn't. It's very weird.
Dick's like never mind. I'm not gonna say it, but
yeah,
it's unfortunate for Dick Grayson.
It's God, So odd. What do you... Okay. So I'm going to ask you this, like, hypothetical. Would you be interested in seeing Talia? Like... In Pattinson. Like, do you think that that would be... I know you like kind of, like, elaborated on it to an extent earlier. But, like, you were laying down a game plan for how it could work. But, like, is that something you would like to see?
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed. I don't know if you want to do... Like, it just feels weird to try to do... Talia without, like, her father. I mean, you can obviously do it, but, like, there's just so many implications about, like, where she comes from and who she is. Yeah.
You just... Yeah.
So, like, it's like, all right, you're adding a big part of his world to this. And again, it's just like, I think a lot of my feelings on stuff like this is like, all right, like, I'd like to see something different. I see what Reeves is setting up. I think that I have, like, a vision of what I would like this trilogy to look like. Primarily, like, the Court of Owls is, like, the big part of it. And then, you know, like, that doesn't really entail a lot of other people. Like, I'd really like to keep this Batman, like, isolated to Gotham as best as possible.
Yeah. See, I just said, like, yeah, like, very quickly to that, but then I also am like, oh, I really love... Because I fucking... I want Roz, and I want that desert sword fight, bro. I want it so badly. And...
Yeah.
Please...
Well, I just think that, like...
It'd be so
I think
good.
it's just being a prisoner of the moment and what we've gotten in the past couple of years is, like... I know the Dark Knight trilogy was very much like Gotham, but, like, let's be real here. Like, it wasn't
Gotham.
It wasn't Gotham, and, like,
yeah.
most of the Gotham that we got in the DCEU was, like, it was just very minimal.
Yeah.
And, like, I just would like to get back to basics with Gotham and, like,
yeah,
Batman
no, I wanna
and
spend
that
a lot,
lore.
I want to spend a lot of time there. If someone said, I just think we need a Batman show to get everything right. I fucking agree.
Well, hey, let's talk about this really quick.
Yeah.
The Cape Crusader.
Yeah, bro. Oh, I can't wait for that show.
That's exciting.
That, I guarantee you, when the trailer or first look or whatever the fuck for that drops, I'm gonna say that I'm more excited for that than I am Reeves Batman.
Yeah.
Cause, like,
I mean, that's gonna be. I mean, hey, give me the Bat
Well,
family in that.
oh no, maybe.
Give me, like, everybody.
I think I'm actually,
Oh, you want, like, a noir, like, solo
Yeah.
Batman in that?
Yeah, because
That's fair.
They're leaning into the noir, the golden age, like, very early on, like, fucking, ooh, yeah. I mean, eventually, probably, yeah. Give me the Batman in that. I'll definitely, like, take it. But, like, yeah, that show's gonna rule so fucking hard. Or the fact that they described it as, like, it's if Batman the Animated Series was more Batman the Animated Series.
I mean, they used that Solomon Grundy little short as, like, reference for it.
Yeah, which is exactly what I fucking hoped whenever it was announced. I was like, can they please fucking use the, I believe it's Dark Days animated short that Bruce Timm did for the Batman 75th anniversary. And yeah, fucking, I would pull it up, but I don't want to get copyrighted.
Yeah, don't do that. Your producer says don't do that.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
But yeah, it's that the fact that they, like, reference that specifically, I was like, yeah, that's, like, good shit. I fucking love that short. And Usama with the hot take said that he'd prefer a New 52 themed Batman show.
That'd be really interesting.
He says he's not a fan of Cape Crusader because he knows it'll be Batman focused. That's exactly why I am a fan of Cape Crusader. This shit's gonna be so good.
See, I would actually have the exact reverse opposite, and maybe just because of how I feel about, you know, like, I don't know, mediums, I guess. But, like, I'd much rather have, like, a solo Batman movie and then, like, a TV show like the Bat Fam.
That's what he was saying. He said he's not a fan of the Cape Crusader because he knows it'll be.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying generally because we've been talking about this all night of, like,
Oh yeah.
are we getting the Bat Fam in the movie? You know.
Well, it's just so much easier to do in animation. Like, you have
Well, yes,
way more time.
that's true. Yeah,
Way
I think
more-
that's part of it. Is like I just think that both of those like those mediums lean
work.
into those stories better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, why not take advantage of that?
If someone was like, I mean, if I want a Batman focus, I'd watch Batman the Animated Series. Okay, well, so we can get Cape Crusader, and then they can also fucking
This man
greenlight.
said, "I'm coming for you."
They can greenlight some other Bat Fam and Friends show. Yeah, with animation, you can go all out to make this the best fucking Golden Age noir detective pulp Batman story that we've ever seen. Nah, it's gonna be so good. It's weird though, because whenever I think about the show, I think about it in black and white because of that. Was it Dark Days? Is it Strange Days? It might have been Strange Days. Might be the short, actually.
Dark Days sounds right, but I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I know a lot about that.
It's one of the two. Oh, it just almost clicked my messages. That'd have been bad.
That would have been bad. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah. Stream got to see my notifications for a second though. I accidentally clicked my messages for a split second on the first stream. It was fine though. There was nothing bad. Not that there's ever anything bad in my messages.
Yeah. Anything bad on there?
Because I'm a good person. That's why they didn't get to do because of limitations. Makes me emotional. Yeah, Batman already does have so much spotlight. I'll give you that. But like, this is gonna be so good though.
Yeah. I mean, that's an argument for like
Everything.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's
You ain't getting me. You ain't getting me with that one.
It's just like, yeah, but it's gonna do numbers.
Exactly.
I can agree to this. He said the Bat Fam needs more expansion than Batman himself. Yeah, but I like Batman more than any of them, so I'm chilling.
True.
The DC AMU Batman movies, I would say they range from good to very great. Mask of the Phantasm is fucking one of the best Batman films of all time. Oh wait, is the DC? Oh, the DC AMU. Fuck, does that? Those are the new Batman movies. Yeah, because I was thinking.
They're okay.
I was thinking the DC AU. Yeah, the DC.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, I got mixed up in the comments between the DC.
I just
AU
really
and the
like
DC
that
AU.
those are able to, kind of grow that universe. They're not the best movies, but like I appreciate what they did.
Yeah, they're okay. I actually watched all of those, like Bad Blood and Batman vs. Robin and all those other ones at some point last year. They're okay. I mean, some of the adaptations are just interesting. There's just a lot. I appreciate some of them, and I think, Sean, the point that you just made is probably the biggest pro they have for me is just like what they try to do and like growing the universe and stuff, like, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you hear this typing really badly?
Are you still typing?
No.
Oh, okay, well, no,
Okay, cool. Sorry, I just didn't want to fuck up the stream.
you're okay. Bad Blood is one of my least favorite Batman movies personally, but I respect it. Bad Blood gets points for me only because if if you've been tuned into the stream, it has Kate Kane. Man, I'll probably make some Kate Kane gifts after this, actually. I say that. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, Cape Crusader is gonna fucking slap. Can we get a new Batman Beyond, either live action or animated show also? Thanks. Basically, this whole stream has just been a ruse so that I can promote the fact that I would like Batwoman and Batman Beyond content. Yeah, a new DC animated universe would be really good too. Superman show would be clutch. The fact that Wonder Woman doesn't have a show is insane. Yeah, a new Justice League show would be really good. Just the fact that they don't capitalize more on this is kind of ridiculous. And the fact that Marvel is just now starting to, it seems, is also kind of insane to me. Like,
I think it was the idea that like they wanted to separate themselves from like the 90s and the early 2000s, and then like did a bunch of live action stuff, and they're like, oh shit, we could go back and do really cool stuff with,
yeah,
animation.
it just seems like it was like but I was gonna say forgotten, but it wasn't forgotten. They both put out a bunch of shitty content for years. Like,
Some of them are still putting out shitty content.
yeah, and so it's just like, I mean, DC is doing some stuff. Like I know that they're like sort of building a new universe, like another Long Halloween and the Man of Tomorrow movies are connected. But yeah, hello Batman 101, welcome. I forgot to inform you that you're joining pretty close to the end of the stream. Cause
Yes, probably very close.
yeah, I'm kind of getting tired, can't lie. But like it's weird because I haven't watched Man of Tomorrow in its entirety. I've seen some of it. I watched The Long Halloween though, and like that doesn't like. You're telling me those take place in the same universe, and like apparently so does the Justice Society movie, and like I don't know, that it just doesn't feel like it. Which I mean, not. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. Basically, I would like them to let me in charge, and then it'd be good. Yeah, I've heard pretty good things about Man of Tomorrow. Usama said The Long Halloween doesn't exist. The Long Halloween Part 1 sans the last 10 minutes can exist. Part 2 doesn't exist though. That was rough. I guess the consensus is that I need to watch Man of Tomorrow. There's now 3 people saying,
Yeah, I wanted to watch that.
2 people are saying it's great and 1 saying it's really good, so
Oh, there you go.
fucking yeah, Nani, don't waste your time watching the second part of The Long Halloween. Not fucking worth it. It's a movie that exists. Honestly, except for the last like fuck one of my cords up. Except for the last like 30 minutes, it's not that bad.
Trying to keep. Yeah.
But that's okay.
I try to keep up. But
Sean, did you watch it? You didn't watch it, did you?
What, Man of Tomorrow?
No, the Long Halloween.
No. I don't watch a lot of that stuff. I would like to try, but
Yeah. I mean, the animation slapped. I still wish it was closer to Tim Sale's art style, but that's okay. It is what it is.
yes.
But, what other? Okay, while we're talking about the chat's talking about all these the animated projects. What projects specifically would you like to see? Like what characters would you like to see get shows?
Oh Jesus.
Or like corners?
Give me a Bloodsport show.
Oh, okay, you want live action? I'm assuming.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, but if we're going animation, I mean, Nightwing's always a given.
Tanter Jack Go-Go, I agree. The voice acting in The Long Halloween was fantastic. Sorry, keep going.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like. Damn, I don't know. It's hard. There's so many opportunities. I'd love to start seeing some more like short films. I know that's not going to happen, but like some animated shorts, I think would be really cool.
That would be cool.
Like, could you imagine doing like a question short film
That'd be sick.
in animation? You know?
Honestly, yeah, just stuff like that.
So
Yeah,
kind of how I feel.
Things like that would be really cool because there's people that want to tell those stories, and like they could do it.
Bro, I want to tell those stories.
Yeah. That, and then I would love to see an animated Garian, however it's said, Thanagar. The Hawks.
Who?
Hawkman and Hawkwoman.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Thanagar. I would like to see
Thanagar, yeah.
an animated show about them because I think there's a lot you could do there, especially if you take from oh my god, I can literally picture his face, but I can't think of his name, who had the run on Hawkman recently. Hawkman 2016.
I'm not gonna be able to help you there.
I know. I'm looking at Venditti, I believe. Pulling it up. Don't worry. Stream is probably helping me actually, and I'm ignoring the comments. It
That's
is Robert
important.
Venditti. Let's see if anyone in stream said it while I was away. Oh, no one did. Cool. Green Arrow and Black Canary show would slap. Live action or animated? Both, yes. Flash would be great.
Yeah, they were great in Injustice too.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
That would make me happy.
Batman Superman show, live action or animated? Yep. Agreed, Usama.
Give me a trilogy or a trio, not a trilogy. You know what I mean?
A Trinity show?
Trinity. Jesus.
Sorry. You did the other two.
I'm a little tired. If that wasn't clear.
It's okay.
Trinity would be good.
Yeah. Magic stuff. I always like seeing magic stuff.
Dr. Fate. That's what I was saying. To like, think about like a bunch of think of Star Wars Visions, but not anime.
Like, well, you could do
but
it.
Like deep
that'd be cool
characters.
too. Yeah, no.
I mean, it could be anime. I'm cool with anime. I just like, like that would be so good.
Yeah.
God, it'd make me so happy.
Oh yeah, I did see that. The next Young Justice arc is magic focus. Saw that earlier. Need to get caught up. But I'm painfully behind. Like, not even in this season behind. But that's okay. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
What are you working on?
Getting caught up on Young Justice. Getting a Batman arc too soon. That's, I mean, okay. I'll have to watch. Yeah, too much content. I agree, Nani. I do think probably gonna call it because
Yeah, that's good.
I'm getting tired.
We're both drained as hell.
Yeah, I'm getting tired and a little bit restless. Apologies, stream. It sucks because chat's kind of popping, but thank you everyone who's been here. Thank you, Sean, for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks,
discuss all
Evan.
this stuff.
Who's not here, but
Yeah, shout out Evan. Always love having him.
Shout
on.
out.
Shout out Bear also. Yeah, no. I'll be doing these discussion streams. I'm going to try to make them consistent on Mondays. I'll do different topics. I don't know what I'll do next Monday. I'm going to also try to figure out what the topics are going to be more than the day of in advance going forward. So hopefully that'll be good. Again, thank you to everyone who's watching now, anyone watching in the future, going back. Thank you, and be sure to tune into the next ones. Later.
Later.